Welcome to the Smart Customer Spotlight podcast, which is where we invite industry experts to join us in shining light on today's business landscape and elevating your brand. I'm Sybil Chan from Sitejabber, and today's special guest is Hani Mourra, CEO and founder of Repurpose. And this is an automation platform that helps individuals and businesses maximize their exposure without spending tons of time wasting hours publishing to multiple platforms manually. Because who wants to do that? So, Hani, it's great to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me here. It's a pleasure.
Awesome. So, can you tell us a bit about you and your business and how you got started?
I'm a video guy all my life. I love video and studied computer engineering and software. I just love creating and making, and software kind of was my tool. I would say maybe 10, 11 years ago now, kind of made my first WordPress plugin. It's my first kind of dabble into software and create an automation tool for video. Just take a video from YouTube, automatically put it on your website. Just surprisingly how many people love that idea, and I started to kind of partner up with somebody to help launch it, because when you're first starting off, you don't really have an audience, right? You don't have, especially if you're more of the maker type like me, I didn't have the audience. So I partnered up, got my foot in the door, learned a lot, created a few WordPress related tools for content creators, but they caught on, they're doing okay. But what really caught on was this new platform. Well, I say new, but it's about 8 years old now, called Repurpose.io. So by getting your foot in the door, I learned a lot of lessons about software, what customers want, what the needs are in the market, kind of evolved a few products before I kind of found the product that hit the product market fit.
So, you said your first love, so to speak, was working with video. So, how have you seen that kind of change over the years? Just taking it from the creator side more into the software, more into the helping other businesses or individuals do video. How has that transition kind of been for you?
Yeah, it's amazing. Video's changed so much. I mean, to me, I started doing video. It was cell phones were not really what you would use. You just use your webcam or any camera, and you always shoot horizontal videos, right? That was normal. If you ever shot vertical, you're like, whoa, what are you doing? You never shoot vertical. No. And of course, nowadays it's literally a 180 flip. Vertical is the normal way to shoot video, and also the normal way to watch video, or more comfortable way to watch video with TikToks and Reels and all the short form platform. But yeah, it's changed a lot. It was all about good content, it's always about good content, but it's always about long content, long form video. YouTube was pretty much the only place you went to. Everything else didn't really matter. YouTube was your number one space. But now that's changed. The type of video now is short. The shorter, the better. The attention spans are way shorter. And of course, vertical is now the norm, and it's more natural to view vertical videos, especially on mobile. TikTok, I want to say TikTok pioneered it. I don't know if they did or not. I feel like they did. They were kind of the first to push the all short platform, all short vertical videos. And now everyone's doing it. All the platforms support vertical video. That's interesting, because as a creator, it kind of makes your life a little bit easier in a way now. If you make your short form videos under 60 seconds, shoot them vertical, and you're pretty much compatible now with all the platforms. So all the platforms have adapted to vertical video, which is great news for creators.
Speaking of, just how video has changed in these past few years, Repurpose, you guys have been around for how many years now?
Maybe 7.5 years now, yeah.
Okay, awesome. And in the past few months, you've hit some huge milestones. You've surpassed well over 3 million videos repurposed, right, and counting. So what does that kind of number mean for you, and what does it tell you about how big video has gotten, and where do you think it's going?
Yeah, I mean, video's always been, way back in the day with YouTube, it's always been the way to capture attention, the way to connect with people. Your face on camera connects with people, right? Text is great, graphics are great, but having a video, you kind of draw somebody in. You can really connect with them at a little more personal level. So video was always hot with YouTube, and it still is. YouTube is still an amazing platform, and it's still a go-to platform. But with the short form video, we've seen 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago, that's when we started seeing most people shift away from long videos. At least our users, they come in our platform because they like the idea of redistributing and repurposing their short form video. For example, people go TikTok first. They film on their phone, they do some small edits on their phone, add some music right on the TikTok app, hit publish, and gets published to TikTok. And then they use our tool to automatically take it from TikTok and push it out to all others, including YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, Pinterest, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, all the rest. Creators now, I feel they love the native apps on the platform, like TikTok app, IG app. They give you so much power to create really engaging videos. They give you music. They give you all simple editing tools, shoot, record, and then publish right from your phone. I feel like that's the way to go. Upload natively to one platform, and then you can take that video and use a tool like Repurpose to automatically just have it go out to all the others.
And in terms of repurpose features, so you have short form video from one app going to all these other apps, basically instantaneously, right? Without actually logging in, doing all this, let me post here, let me track where I went here, things like that. Do you do like turning long form video into shorter video as well? And if so, how does that work?
Yeah, and actually, we've had that feature for a while early on,
Mhm.
because when we first launched Repurpose 7.5 years ago, we were targeting podcast interviews, people doing video or audio only podcasts. Yeah, one of the big requirements was to take that long video, chop it up into little clips, and post that on social media. And sometimes it involves, taking a horizontal video and making it vertical with some templates, because horizontal videos, especially when they're short, they don't do as well on these short form platforms. So yeah, we've had that feature for a while. It's a manual process in a sense that you click a button, your video comes up inside Repurpose. You have to watch the video, pick a clip, and choose it. And then you pick a template, for example, to make it vertical, and then you can schedule that out to different platforms. But what we're working on is to automate that process as well. So use some AI to recommend 3, 4, 5 different clips from a video. You pick the one that you want, the 2, the 3, the 4, whatever you like. You can tweak them if you want to, and then just hit schedule, and it will go out to all your platforms. So that's coming up in probably a few months from now. We're working on that as part of our new kind of version 3, what we call it version 3, our new next generation platform rolling out later this year.
Very, very exciting. Yeah, that's going to be super helpful for people who still want to create longer form video. But of course, a large chunk of the audience out there won't be watching those long videos, but can still consume bits from that video in various different sessions. You can schedule them out over different days, months even, and still have a continuous flow of content, right? So
Yeah, absolutely.
definitely
Yeah,
sounds
absolutely.
really
It's still a
valuable.
great way to mix and match your content. You make the long content, you get the value on YouTube. That same content, you can make it to clips, you get the value on the other platforms, the shorts, the reels, the TikToks. And then you supplement that. And, if you have a little time, you supplement that with natural, native, vertical videos that you shoot. So you're going to have a good mix of content going out on all the different platforms.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the value of content overall. So, of course, the phrase content is king has been around for ages now. You probably hear it all the time in so many interviews. Is it still true? And why? And how do you see that?
My opinion, from what I see, what I've been around for the past 10 years, especially in the past 7 years, video content is still the best in terms of engagement. People will connect with you, with your business, with the person behind your business, whether it's a coaching business, whether it's a software business. The more you put your face out there, especially with video, the more people will connect with you, will resonate with you. And the people that don't resonate with you, they're probably not even good customers anyway. So it's almost like a filter in a way. It attracts the right people. It kind of discourages the wrong people from coming to your business. And that's probably more applicable if you're kind of a coach, trainer, or someone where you deal one-on-one with people. But even as a software company ourselves, the more we put our face out there, whether it's myself, whether it's someone from our marketing team, the more human you make your product, the better it is from human to human contact. People do business with humans, not with systems. So I find it's really important, and video is the best way to do it, in my opinion. You can have conversations. People can see how you talk, how you act, and they just see the real person behind the business.
Yeah, absolutely. Because with Sitejabber, with our Jabio platform, we are very much, B2B. And sometimes we see that, we're dealing with businesses. And maybe fun TikTok content isn't really our thing. And, what would you say to businesses that are hesitant to get into short form video? Maybe they think it's too much for the younger generation. They think,
Yeah.
we deal with executives. Why would they be interested in this? What would you say to people who think like that?
I mean, you have to go where the eyes are, right? Where the audience is. And everybody's attention spans are shorter. When TikTok first got started, it was like a dancing platform. It was like young kids dancing. And I was like, no, I'm not going on there. That's not my thing, not my scene, not my audience. But I did a bit of research. I just went on TikTok and I just started researching content repurposing, content marketing. I was shocked. I was like, wow, there are a lot of people talking about this content repurposing, content marketing. I don't know how platforms algorithm work the first time you sign up, but they probably make some assumptions. But the more you actually search for content that's relevant to your industry, the more you'll learn, oh, wow, there's a lot of people talking about it. You want to be, like I said earlier, you want to be where your audience is. It may not be TikTok. It may be more LinkedIn. It may be more maybe Instagram. But the truth is, if you're making a video, there's no harm in putting it everywhere. Right? Especially if you have a tool like Repurpose or something else that will automate it for you. What is the harm with putting it everywhere? You're only increasing your chances. You might pick up on Instagram. We've had customers, same video, get a couple hundred views, a couple thousand views on TikTok, million views on Instagram. Same video, and then vice versa. You'll never know. Algorithms are mysterious things. Nobody knows them, understands them. So you want to increase your probability. Do short form video. Keep it simple. You don't have to do anything fancy. Keep it under 60 seconds. Shoot it vertical, and you're golden. You can just post that on every platform. And then number 2 is be consistent. You can't expect a video to go out. You might get 100 views. You might get 200. You might get 50. You might get 10. Don't use that first, second, even third video as a marker. Just get in the habit of making, whether you do that all in batch. Spend a day, record 3-4 videos, or just if you're inspired, get the phone, say something short. But the key is consistency. You got to publish consistently, and in my opinion, on every platform until you train those algorithms to know that you're posting content regularly.
So yeah, it kind of goes both ways. People creating needs to make consistent content to show what you're all about. And then the people who are in your audience, they're going to keep searching for what they're interested in. And at some point, the algorithm will just kind of match everyone together, right?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing how it works. You don't have to make it complicated. I mean, there's a lot of good tools out there. You can even use ChatGPT even just to give you ideas, to say, hey, I'm a software business, or I'm a medical professional, or I'm a coach. What kind of content do I make for my audience? And it'll give you, day 1, maybe behind the scenes. Hey, let's show something behind the scenes. Day 2, maybe it's a new feature. Like, it'll give you some ideas. Don't use them as they are. Just it'll give you ideas and get your brain thinking. There's so much content. Every little video you shoot is a piece of content. It doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to always teach something. Maybe you're just sharing, oh, hey, we're working on this. Oh, here's the team. Let me introduce you to Mark from our team. It could be anything. As long as there's engagement, like it's engaging content, people get to know you, your business, your product, there's value in it. And of course, throwing in some educational, teach them something along the way, make them laugh, entertain. So like information, entertainment are key, especially for short form video.
So with our audience, we also find that there are kind of maybe like 3 different core variables, in the sense that, there's small businesses up to mid-market businesses, and then there's B2C and then B2B businesses. There's also different platforms they tend to use, or some that are direct business customers, and then maybe others that help businesses in the sense that they're marketing agencies or PR firms and so on. So there's so many different types of businesses that we like to reach out to. Do you see any trends in like types of content these businesses should be making, different types that they should focus on depending on what stage they're at, or what focus they're at, or what audience they're looking to reach?
It's going to vary, of course, between different types of customers, different types of businesses, small, big, medium, what space you're in. It's hard for me to say. We have a lot of customers, and we don't really watch every single customer and see what they're doing. But I mean, this kind of what I said earlier, it's about being consistent. And consistent doesn't have to be every day. I don't feel like, consistency means 5 days a week or 7 days a week. It doesn't have to be. It could be 3 or it could be 2. But pick a pattern that makes sense for your business, and then just get in the habit of just recording things. Even if you don't post them, get in the habit of recording conversation with somebody, introduction to someone on your team, something that you learned or something that you saw. Like today, the announcement on whatever, ChatGPT, whatever it is in your space that's important. Talk about it, and just get in the habit of recording it and posting it. And then don't worry about optimizing right away. If you're just starting, just get in the habit of feeling comfortable just being you. Just get in front of the camera and just talk. It can be awkward if you're talking to a camera, you haven't done it.
Right.
It takes a little bit of practice, I want to say. But the beautiful thing is with long form video, it's almost like the more real it is, the better. Like if it's too edited and too scripted, the perfect background behind you and it's a green screen, and that's not what people want to see. People want to see just raw, like, hey, what's Hani up to? What's in his business, or what's Repurpose team up to? And they just connect better when it's more real and not staged in this fancy studio or stuff like that. It's something you have to kind of get your mind over a little bit, especially if you're like, oh no, I only deal with professionals. They're not on TikTok or they're not on here. They may not be, but you won't know until you put content out there.
That's a great point. Yeah, I think a lot of business may still be caught up in the, we have to be perfectly polished because the people we're looking to reach are perfectly polished and only want professional content. But you mentioned earlier, we're all still human at the end of the day. We're not on business mode 24/7. We're still, regular people with our flaws and preferences. And It's really interesting that it's that raw authenticity that still gets people, whether you're just a kid playing around or a CEO of a company. We all can connect on a very human level.
Yeah, I mean, I look forward to like seeing videos about learning something new about somebody or
Mhm.
about something. And it's just, I don't even pay attention to what they're wearing or where they are. If the content's good, I'm going to pay attention to it. Or if it's something I'm looking for, I'm going to pay attention to it. So yeah, keep it simple, especially when you're starting. Like you can get really overwhelmed. Like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Oh, I have to fix my hair. Oh, I have to be behind a good background so it doesn't look like I'm in an office. Or you get caught up and you find a million excuses not to do it.
Right.
Get in the habit and use tools to help you script a little bit and research ideas. A lot of AI tools out there. I mean,
Mhm.
ChatGPT is probably one of the most obvious ones to go to, and use it to help you generate ideas and then make them your own.
Yeah, definitely. On the AI topic, actually, it's been massive in how it's impacted content creation, how it's, helped people create faster, generate more ideas, as you mentioned. I'm going to play devil's advocate for a little bit and kind of take a different angle. Some people could argue that maybe AI is cheapening content or maybe recycling it too much. More content's being produced, of course, but is it just all noise? Is it all kind of the same thing? Is this a valid concern, and why or why not?
Yeah, I think it's a valid concern. I mean, there's a lot of pretty wild AI stuff out there that can take a picture of me and then make it into a talking head and start talking, even it's not even me on camera. Like there's so many wild stuff out there. I personally feel like you're losing that human aspect if you're doing that. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm just saying to me, video is about human connection. That's that one example. An AI version of you talking, saying things because you don't want to be in front of the camera. You don't have time to be in front of the camera. In my opinion, like you're weakening that human connection, right? If someone, after a while, is going to realize, maybe the first time they won't notice, but after a while, it's like, wait a second, that's not really Annie talking. That's an AI. Then your brain's like, I'm not going to pay attention anymore. Like, it's not real. Again, only my opinion. Like nobody is not fact, or I don't have any concrete evidence, but that's how I see it. And to me, the best kind of content is that raw. Just fire up the phone, record a couple of things, make people laugh. You want to teach them something. You still have good value, but using too much AI to replace you with the AI, to me, it's going too far. But definitely using AI to get ideas, do your research, help you come up with topics. I think that's great. But you just got to take that and make that apply to your business. Don't just read a script off of ChatGPT because that's what it says to do. Don't do that. You got to make it real, make it your own. But definitely use tools. We use tools all the time, and we're building tools with AI. So there's that line where you can, in my opinion, can take AI too far. You lose the human aspect. If you don't use AI, sometimes you're slow to start. Like, what do I talk about this week? And use the tools to help you get up to speed in terms of ideas so that you can just get that phone and start recording.
Yeah, so in terms of tools, we personally use Repurpose as well when we have video that we want to start on TikTok, and then, it goes off to Instagram and all those other places that we want our videos to be on. For you guys, are there specific tools that you use on your end? Being, a content creation tool and a software that helps other people create, like what do you use to help yourselves create?
Our team uses, like I said, to do research. We use ChatGPT a lot, do research on topics. They don't use it for scripting. I think they just use it for a little bit of research. The emails as well, like the email copy that comes out. We kind of use ChatGPT to do a framework, and then we make it our own. Like, we never just copy paste. It sounds too much like AI. But also on YouTube, I think our team also uses a tool. Like I think they use vidIQ to do a bit of research and kind of find the keywords and topics relevant. Besides that, I don't think. I mean, obviously we use Repurpose to distribute the content everywhere. We use our own tools, of course. But from an AI perspective, I think it's primarily ChatGPT right now, just to help our marketing team just fine-tune things, do a bit of research. But the creation is still someone from our team shooting the video and posting it, and then Repurpose is distributing it.
In terms of, say, ChatGPT, any specific prompts that come to mind when, trying to do research for video or anything video specific that you've seen that's worked really well?
I can't say worked very well, but something I've tried just for fun to look into. With ChatGPT, any AI tool, the more accurate you are in describing yourself before you ask for the prompt, that it really helps. For example, we would say, hey, we're a SaaS company. We're in the content marketing space. I want to start making videos 5 days a week. Can you recommend some topics? They give you ideas on what to talk about over the day. So it's always really important, especially with ChatGPT, tell it who you are before you ask for anything. Otherwise, the recommendations can be a bit off.
Makes sense. At the end of the day, it's still a machine. It's a tool. It's not a
Yeah.
person's.
Yeah, and still, it's not always accurate. Don't trust the information on there. Validate it. Don't go, reciting stats. If you're talking about stats and ChatGPT gave you stats, A, they're probably going to be a couple of years outdated, and B, there could be inaccurate. So always validate the data that you get out of ChatGPT. But using it as a guideline, it's great. It helps you go from what do I do? We need content this week. I don't know what to talk about, to like, okay, here are some 5 ideas. Let me just start, researching, refining, and making them work for our brand.
Sounds great. I'm kind of jumping around a little bit, but I just thought of other things that came to mind. So when we were talking about algorithms and training the algorithm as a creator, or even training it in the sense, inadvertently training it when you're consuming content. So I personally went into TikTok when, us as a team were trying to make more videos and short form content for, Sitejabber. I was looking up different types of marketing tips or, value videos for businesses. And I did see a lot of content creation advice, some stuff about consistency of posting and, tools like what camera or how to use this lighting and things like that. And then I also found a lot of fun stuff, day in the life of a marketing team, silly office videos or humorous office culture type stuff, generational differences, fun things like that. Though for some reason, I couldn't really find a lot of specific advice for, I don't know, maybe businesses trying to meet certain goals or learn about a new industry or things like that. So was that just user error, not searching properly or not knowing the TikTok algorithm well enough? How do you get around actually pinpointing the type of professional content that you're looking for?
When I started on TikTok, like I said, the first thing you see is just people dancing first time you log in. And then I just went in the search bar and I just started typing content repurposing. For my example, people talk about this stuff on TikTok. This is 2.5 years ago. So I typed that in, and the key is you type it in and then you start watching the videos. And of course, when you watch one video, the next one I recommend, as soon as you swipe up, it's related to the previous video. So you want to go down the rabbit hole a little bit, as long as it's relevant to your industry. Otherwise, you're going to start seeing more content that's not relevant. So it's important to, at least in the beginning, like you said, you're training, I don't know, you're training it or it's training you. It kind of depends on what perspective you're looking at, but you really want to kind of avoid, especially if you're doing business research, avoid topics. If you see a funny video, you might be tempted to watch it, just skip it. So that tells the algorithm, no, none of this. I just want to see more about content. And then hashtags as well. I don't know if they're still as applicable now, but back then, look up some videos and see, okay, the hashtag, then I'll type in the hashtag and see more videos of that hashtag. And I think the bottom line is the more you watch those relevant videos and the more you skip of the non-relevant videos, then it makes the experience better for you the next time you log into TikTok. And then it's showing you the stuff that you want as part of your research. And then commenting as well. If you're just watching, that's one thing. That's one form of engagement. If you're liking, that's another form of engagement. But if you're commenting, it's another form. So the more touch points that you do on a piece of content, then the more TikTok's going to be like, oh, okay, this person liked it and commented and watched 50%, 60% of that video. I'm going to show more of that content. So that's good advice for whether you're a creator or a consumer. Right? The more you engage with content, the more you're going to see that type of content. But as a creator, if you get your viewers to engage, to like it, leave a comment, sometimes asking a question can prompt people to leave comments. That's a good way to raise your views. Like I said, views, and especially past the 3-4 second mark. So 1-2 seconds is not a good metric. You want to get them to watch at least half the video. In the ideal world, the whole video. And there's tricks for that, and we can talk about that if we have some time today. But then also encourage them to like and to leave a comment.
We have a bit of time. Would love to hear your perspective on getting engagement, connecting with the right people, and encouraging them to interact with your content. How would businesses go about that?
Yeah, I mean, you can even use tools like ChatGPT to ask it, but you might hurt. I'm sure everybody who's made content before, maybe you haven't heard of it. It's known as the hook. The first 3 seconds of the hook, right? You want to catch people's attention. Don't fire up your phone and say, hey, I'm Hani Mourra, CEO, founder of Repurpose. That's 3 seconds that no one cares. No one cares who I am. They're not here to watch who I am. They're here to get some value or laugh or get something out of this video. So ignore that. Tell them what they're getting in the first second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. I'm going to show you how to automatically take all your TikToks and push them out to all the platforms with one button. Oh, okay. That sounds interesting. I'm going to watch more. So the purpose of the hook is to get them to watch the next 5 seconds. The next 5 seconds, you're going to get them to watch the next 5 seconds. So it's a bit of almost like a mental game you got to play. You got to plan out your content. And you can use tools like ChatGPT to say, hey, I want a good hook for this video about content repurposing. It'll give you some good hook. And then, you want to give the information, but not all of it. You want them to stick around, watch to the end. The simplest form is hook, content, call to action. watch the first 5 seconds, then learn something, and then leave a comment, like, share, whatever you want to do. Probably all of the above. But then I've seen a lot of people do like these, I don't want to call them like mini hooks, but they get them hooked for the first 5 seconds, and then you deliver the value and you say, hey, stick around for the end. I got something, a bonus tip that I want to share with you that's really going to blow your mind when it comes to repurposing. So you get them to stick around to the end, because one of the metrics is the percentage of the video they watch. They watch 10% versus 80% versus 100%. And you want to get them to watch almost 100% or 80 to 100%. That tells the algorithm this video is good. I'm going to show it to more people.
Yeah, it's interesting that you put it in the term of kind of a game, because you want to catch people, then earn those few seconds of attention, then catch them again, earn a few more seconds. So it's kind of like a game to see how many seconds or how much percentage of the video can get people to watch, and then get them to, of course, subscribe and watch more of your videos, right?
Yeah, it's a game. But I mean, if you're getting started, like you're making your first video, don't worry too much about that. Just worry about the first 3 seconds. Tell them what they're getting. Really, that's what the hook is. I'm going to show you how to do this, or teach you how to do that, so you can get their attention. Hopefully it's something they want, so they can stick around and watch. Don't get caught up. Those are more, as you do them, you can tweak and get the hook followed by another hook, and you can learn that. But in the beginning, don't get caught up in that. Just focus on the first 3 seconds. Make sure it's good. Make sure you capture, you're doing motion, like you're not just standing still, say hi. And you want to do something that, like, as you're scrolling, something comes at you, you're like, oh, let me watch this video. So something visual, the way you speak, and also what you're saying. Catch their attention, tell them what they're going to get if they watch this video.
And any insights on growth? So what about, if you've been doing this for a bit and you have, a few hundred, a few thousand followers, and you're like, I'm ready for more, should people be banking on like getting those viral videos and getting a huge influx of followers, or should people focus more on like kind of slow, steady growth? Or, it's kind of tough, but how would you?
Yeah, it's a tough. I mean, everybody wants the numbers, and my video went viral, I got 10,000 views. And then, I mean, the reality is, as a business, how much money did it make me? Probably those 10,000 views probably didn't make you any money, not necessarily, right? Maybe you built your following by a little bit more. Maybe it's the wrong people that follow, maybe the wrong people that watched it. Don't get caught up in the actual views. So consistency, being present everywhere on all the different platforms is, to me, more important. I'd rather have like a couple hundred views everywhere than to have one video get 10,000 views and then I don't have it on anywhere else. So it's just being everywhere, being consistent, letting people find you. And to me, social media, like organic social media, it's about like brand presence, having a presence. It's not about that one hit video of you doing something funny that went viral. Probably went viral, a lot of people watched it, but it may not necessarily be the right customers for you. When people look you up, if I'm on Twitter, I want to look you up, or on X, I want to look you up, on LinkedIn, I want to look you up. I want to be able to find you everywhere. Otherwise, don't say, hey, go to TikTok, but I'm not on TikTok. Too bad, you can't see my content. That's why you want to be where they are, not vice versa. So I'm not a big believer in numbers, unless that's your job. If you're an influencer, you're all about numbers. The path that you're taking, you want to, get deals and stuff like that, and that's your job. Of course, numbers really matter. But if you're a business, social media is going to give you your presence online. And then, at some point, you probably, we started running ads on all the different platforms. Then we track, these ads are converting. People are taking action. They're signing up for a free trial. That's where we do the tracking. The organic stuff is more about random people looking us up. They have something to watch and consume and learn more. And as we release new features, we talk more about them. So that's how I look at it now. I never thought of it that way, but organic is brand presence, brand awareness. Ads is where you track your conversions on the same platform. Like, we do TikTok ads and we do organic content. We do YouTube ads and we do our YouTube organic. So they have different purposes for us.
And do you find it's vastly different content when you create it for organic consumption versus, paid ads?
Yeah, I mean, we repurpose the paid ads into organic later, but we test them out as ads first. And typically we've been using creators, like UGC creators, to create content for us, because those seem to have more impact than me talking about, oh, look how great Repurpose is. Well, you're the founder. Of course you think Repurpose is great. But if someone's like, oh, I use this and I took my TikToks and I posted it on Reels and now I got a big following or whatever, user talking about it, user generated content is working better for us.
Yeah, I love the point about brand presence. You need to be in all the places that people are looking. And that goes for content. That also, resonates really well with us because as a reviews and reputation platform, people are looking businesses up on different platforms. You want to see people on Google, you want to see them on, reviews on their own website and on third-party website. You just want to see consistently what a business or brand or individual creator is all about. And you don't want to lose people just because you're not where they happen to be.
Yeah, it doesn't take extra effort. You can automate it, of course, with a tool like Repurpose, but even if you don't, the content creation is the hardest part. If you've done that, it's almost a waste. It's of effort not to put it on the other platform because you've done the hard part already, and that's making that content.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's start to bring it to a wrap. Let's bring it to a close. But can you go a bit more into, how repurpose features work? Like, if you have different tiers that match different types of businesses or creators, how would you advise people to use repurpose, whether they're just starting out or whether they've already been doing content for a while?
Yeah, to me, probably the easiest way to get started with Repurpose, if you've been doing short form content, then probably the number one way people use Repurpose is to take the short form content from their existing channel. So let's say you have a TikTok channel, you've been doing it for a year, 6 months, you have a couple hundred videos, and you're like, oh wow, great. But now, how do I start a YouTube channel? How do I start building presence on LinkedIn or on Pinterest? Well, with Repurpose, you can set up an automation that says, take all my TikToks, all the 100, 200, whatever I've done, and send one video per day to that platform. So you're naturally not dumping 100 videos on YouTube in one day, because that's not going to help anybody. It's definitely not going to help the algorithm. But you can drip your content one per day and start automatically, literally building your YouTube channel, one video per day. And then you can do the same for LinkedIn, same for Pinterest. So without even having to make new content, you can start building your existing channels literally in like 5 minutes. You set it up, you turn on the auto, you pick a schedule. I want every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 9 a.m. post one of my old videos here or there, etc. And that's the easiest way to get started. So you don't have to make content, and especially if you have content already. And then anything new that you do, no problem. You make a new video tomorrow, that video will go out for the day. So you're never going to post more than once. It's going to be one video per day, whether it's a new one or an old one. So that's, to me, the easiest way to get started without having to worry about making content. But if you're just getting started, so you don't have a history of stuff like video, it's the easiest way to do short form video. Like we talked about earlier, it's short, under 60 seconds. If you do a video between 30 and 60 seconds, pick your favorite platform. If you like YouTube, do YouTube Shorts. If you like Instagram, upload to Instagram. It doesn't matter. Upload to one platform, like from your phone, upload to one platform, and then use Repurpose to say, hey, take it from Instagram and send it to everywhere else. So the fact that it's already short saves you any clicking in Repurpose. If you want to make clips and do a lot, it's a little more involved, a little more manual. It's not hard, but it does take time. But honestly, the simplest way is make sure, if you're not making content, make short videos. Vertical, short, under 60 seconds, and just post to one platform.
Any particular best practices around, say, if you are posting on TikTok, then should you try to post it on all other platforms on the same day, or does that matter, or you should save it for another day, or anything like that?
No, I don't really have anything specific there. I just feel like be consistent and don't do too much in one day. So one video per day on all platforms. So that's the easiest way. That we added this auto publishing schedule feature 3-4 months ago for that reason, so that you can just say, hey, one video per day. You can go up to 5 if you want. I recommend just one, maybe 2 per day. Maybe one in the morning, one at night. If you have a lot of backlog of content, maybe do one morning, one night, one morning, one night. If you have a few hundred videos or under 100 videos, then you know what? Just do one per day. Start building that YouTube channel automatically. Start building your Twitter and your LinkedIn and Pinterest and Snapchat, all of them, and Instagram and Facebook Reels, all on autopilot. But just drip the content one per day.
Love that. Alrighty. Yeah, I think we covered a good amount of stuff. I'm gonna, do a little wrap up thing. So that brings us to the end of today's episode. So Hani, thank you so much for sharing your insights on the value of content, and not just, creating content, creating that short form video, but repurposing that content. Repurpose.io is, such a handy tool that we, again, personally use. And, we think that all businesses should also use. So do you have any final thoughts, any parting words of wisdom to share?
Not wisdom, but just if you haven't started, get started. You got to get in the video game, and the only way to get into it is to actually do it. And it's gonna look horrible the first time, second time, third time. I love watching, going back to my old content and watching old videos that I've done. Oh, they're horrible. But if you didn't do the horrible one, and then you won't improve the next time and next time. So I guess in short, get started. Video's not going anywhere. It's been over 10 years. Oh, the hottest thing is always video. 10 years ago was YouTube. Now it's pretty much any platform, but it's still video content. And honestly, it's easier now because you got a 30-second video. It's actually a good amount of video. That's all you need. You don't need to go more than 30 to 60 seconds.
Sounds great. Yeah, so let's get on that video, everyone. So, yeah, to our listeners, please be sure to drop a comment with your thoughts on today's episode. Like, subscribe, and share. Your feedback is always appreciated and helps us bring you more valuable conversations. And for more about Sitejabber and our platform, Jabio, please check out sitejabber.com/business. And we'll see you in the next Smart Customer Spotlight.